So we are now about to test the noise level of this SmallRig fan. Basically, the microphone of this camera, as well as my voice, they are 35 centimeters away from the microphone, and I'm using a medium loud noise, as you can imagine. I will power this little battery here. And this guy is turning on immediately and trying to cool down the camera from 29 Celsius. I give you a moment to listen. I will also use this little, let's see, I have this little decibel meter and I hold it like very close, which is completely unfair. So this is around 50 decibel. I'm going to hold it in the same distance of the microphone. So now showing around 40 decibel. Unless I'm talking, then it's around 70. 41. It was now cooling down completely, so it turned off by itself. Let's see what happens. So one more, I'm going to move into the room a little bit. This is now like 1.5 meters distance. And out there I was measuring 37.9 decibel. So now it was kind of stabilizing this temperature around 20 degrees, which also means that the fan is turning on and off pretty much permanently by itself. So it's now around 21 degrees, and then it's going to cool down again, 20, and then when it approaches 19, then it's going to turn off, which I somehow don't like so much, but that's how they built it. I was wondering why they didn't put a mode where you can just use lower ventilation, but permanently. So this is the 19 Celsius. It stops. Camera is warming up a little bit. And so it's turning on by itself again. Let's compare this to my old Ulanzi fan. Here basically this one comes with an inbuilt battery, which is pretty much handy. You don't always need to have all these batteries around. It's also quite stable aluminum, but it has this suction mechanism here, which is not so stable, but I found a way to just fix it with 2 of those rubber bands crosswise here. Then it never comes off. And I'm going to turn it on now. Let's see how loud this one is in comparison. Takes a little moment to reach its final speed. I'm also going to measure this one very close. .49. at the distance of the microphone. Around 40. And I'm going to walk into the room 1 meter or 150. So this one was measuring 36.8. And then we are also going to go to the second level here. So close by we are at 43. Distance, same as the microphone. .45 decibel. And 1.5 meters away. I measure 37.8. So in conclusion, this one is a little bit more heavy than the Ulanzi. The SmallRig has some more weight to it. Both of them, they can be charged also externally, but this one brings the internal battery. This one always requires external power, and it requires these kind of frames which are available for all the cameras that you see here. You know, the size difference is also pretty obvious. I'm not sure if this one is much more powerful. Could be. I hope that would make sense, but this one is also doing its job perfectly. And what I like here is these suction cups. They make this one very universal, you know. You can just adjust it to all kind of different cameras, and even when the suction cups don't hold so well. Let me just show you for a second. Yeah, so this one basically here, it's my little DIY invention. Just this rubber band, you can just put it anyhow around this camera, and when you put this rubber bands, so DIY style, it's not really beautiful, but you of course have access to all the necessary buttons here. You can see everything on the screen. And it's pretty much straightforward. It's pretty simple. Basically, this thing here, you have space to access also these buttons, and it's lightweight also, this one here, and it holds this thing in place. It will never fall off. So basically that's what I did with the Ulanzi. They have also now a newer version which you can just simply click in. They have a little feather here on the side. I'm still using this old version, which is perfectly fine. Yeah, two very nice inventions basically for the context of cooling cameras. So you can turn your A7 IV or your A6700, which I'm filming with, all the stuff, into a FX30. So they're all, if you like it more compact with this one and with external gear, use this one like the SmallRig, and if you want to have like an improvised cheap solution with internal battery, then also the Ulanzi may be fine. Don't forget to follow my channel, click like, write comments. One last thing I wanted to mention, basically, when you think of this construction, which is kind of like universal, very nice, this one here is more like the professional approach, if you will, somehow, because it like fits up to the millimeter and you don't have these kind of rubber things around. The critics for me is really that it's not able to run this thing permanently, which creates the different acoustic situations. One more problem, basically I have to charge it always from outside, and with the battery that I'm using here, if for a little moment no energy is taken, then this thing is going to turn off, which then also means that this one is never going to turn on again. So you have to have a special battery which basically keeps delivering energy all the time, or you have to use an external kind of like a power device, like a charger, USB charger, something like this. So I would say, like, kind of final verdict, this one here, it's really only for use in a studio or in at least, let's say, a professional camera setup where you have this camera in the center and you anyway deliver energy to all kind of other devices, so your battery is never going to turn off. Whereas this one here, it's like when you're out in the fields and suddenly the sun is shining, then better you go with this one. Interesting, different concepts. And by the way, also this SmallRig here, they have another version which is made especially for all the Sony cameras. I will put the picture here and the name so you know exactly what to look for, because this one here, this is their universal version. You know, they have these kind of frames here. This is the one for, as you can see, hopefully you can see, A7 IV and ZVE1. Because they have the same size here, where usually the screen is located, and you can adapt it to all kind of different cameras. But if you are anyway in the Sony universe, then they have a specific one for Sony. But I don't know, this other one doesn't have a temperature highlight here. It's not showing any temperature in Celsius. I'm also wondering a little bit why they don't have Fahrenheit here, so only one unit. For the rest of the world, somehow the unit that they refer to is missing. So maybe not completely thought to the end. Anyway, still I like it. It's pretty much stable. Like, interesting type of Terminator technology. Yeah, they are both quite nice to my mind. Please tell me your opinion. Maybe you have even a better idea, like another fan from a different company. Or you say, no, I will only work with the FX30 or FX3. And these kind of things, they are too funny for me. Let me know in the comments.